What is going on, everybody? We have another 9-game NBA slate today. Should be a fun one. We are making so much money in the association over the first week of the season. Honestly, I am cashing like every single slip. Every day we're going 6-1 or 7-0 or 5-0 or 8-2. Like, it's just been absolutely insane to start the season. I doubt it's going to sustain like this for the entire season, but we got to keep riding this hot streak while we are going. If you've just been tailing on these YouTube videos, you're probably up a decent amount of money. But if you are one of the VIPs, that's where you're really making the most money. I'm posting screenshots of every single slip that I'm making for the VIPs, along with a write-up for each play too. I basically make it a ton of value for you guys. But if you prefer to just watch the free videos or be a free member in the Discord server, that's totally fine too. I do a lot of free content, but if you wanted to see every single one of my slips, like actually what I'm betting every single time, you'll have to join the VIPs. And if you want to do that, there's a link located in the description below, and that link will give you actually a 7-day free trial as well. So you could try it out for a week. You know, you'll probably make enough money in that week to pay for a subscription, whether it be a weekly, a monthly, or even the yearly one. So come in, join us, and if you're not interested in being the VIP, at least come join the Discord server. Discord's completely free. That link is located below too. And right before I get into the plays here, I just want to share with you guys, I am using the Outlier.bet app. This is the website that I use every single day for my research. I'm even repping their hat here. I told you guys that they sent me the hat a couple days ago, so of course I have to show them the support. But basically, this app has saved me so much time over the last few years with my research process, going through the players, finding these trends, mainly for NBA, NFL, and WNBA for me, but a lot of people use it for soccer and hockey and baseball and all the other sports. I just tend to focus on the sports that I am best at. But let's get into plays here. I have 4 regular bets and 3 parlay fillers, but the parlay fillers kind of go hand in hand with the normal bets. So we'll be able to get through those pretty quickly. But the first play is the guy who respects the absolute most coin for us. You know, he's been cashing us out left and right, whether it be on his overs or his unders. If you look at his full season, you know, he's averaging 45.6 PRA per game. Tonight, I am on his over 34.5 PRA. So I've actually bet his over in all 5 of these games where he went over. I bet his under on that game where he had 29. And then last night I went back on his overs because the line is down. So basically what I'm doing here, if you're new to Outlier or if you're just curious how I go throughout my thought process with these things. So I'm filtering for games without LeBron James, right? So you're going to get a large sample of games of 16 games here, right? Okay. But this doesn't show the full picture because you also have to include Luka, because Luka is a guy who controls the ball a lot. He has a high usage rate. So if I'm looking at games for Austin Reeves, I need to make sure I'm including Luka too, especially if he's on the floor and LeBron is out, because you really need to paint a picture of what tonight is going to look like, or what is, you know, what has happened in recent games that has been the same situation as tonight. So for Austin Reeves here, he's averaging 38.1 PRAs per game with Luka in and LeBron out. He's gone over this 34.5 number 8 out of 9 times. I'm actually kind of shocked that this line is 34.5 on PrizePicks still. It actually went up to 35.5 a little bit, went back down to 34.5. Underdog Fantasy has this all the way up to 36.5. So this is where I think the line probably should be, 36.5, maybe even like 38.5. But if they're going to give us 34.5, I'm just going to keep taking it every single day. Just riding with this trend, going over this number 8 out of 9 games, scoring at a high rate, getting a ton of assists. He's just absolutely balling right now, and nobody respects the coin as much as Austin Reeves does for us at the moment. So that's my first play. I'm also going with a parlay filler with him of over 29.5, the very same situation. You actually can go all the way down to like 26.5 on Underdog Fantasy, but that's just too juicy of a line for me. I don't like to lay like minus 900s or anything. So the Green Goblin line over on PrizePicks is 29.5. That's the number I'm going to stick with. And if you want a parlay filler, that should be a decent one for you guys. But it's not my favorite parlay filler. I do have another one that I like just slightly more that I'll touch on later. But I do like this 29.5 for Austin Reeves as well. Obviously, if I like the 34.5. So next play, we're going to go to a guy who has been absolutely giving us the shaft this entire season. And I mean, like, royally just bending us over the table and just shoving it in. Derek White, under 5.5 assists. I've been on his 3-pointers made on an alternate line pretty much every single game this season. I've bet his over 2.5 3-pointers made, and it has not been going well lately. You know, he's shooting terrible. 1 of 5 last game, 2 of 7 the game before. 3 and 12. Like, it's just been so bad for Derek White. He has been total cheeks. So if you want to go back on this play, he's probably going to cash it tonight. I'm just not going to be on it. I do want to touch on it before I go into the assist line that I'm going to be on. But basically, this over 2.5 3-pointers made home games without Jason Tatum. Last 2 seasons, he's gone over in 10 out of 11 home games. I probably should bet this, but I'm just so like I'm traumatized at this point, especially after last game and the last few games. But I mean, the trend makes sense. So if you want this as a parlay filler, go for it. Just close your eyes. But anyways, I'm on his under 5.5 assists. And I'm actually a little bit confused on this line because it's very similar to that alternate line. If I'm looking at games without Jason Tatum the last 2 seasons, Derek White's gone under this number in 78% of the games, 14 out of 18 games. If I filter even further and include games with Jaylen Brown, which makes sense because if Tatum's out, you want to know if Brown's in because that does impact the offense. It still goes down to just 13 out of 17. So it's a super strong prop here. He almost always ends up at like four or less. He had a couple spike games in there, but I'm going to take this under 5.5 assists. He's been burning me all season, so take this with a grain of salt. I'm going to take this under 5.5 assists. I might do the 3 points made. I don't know. We'll see. If you're in the VIPs, if you see a slip with that and you want to fade it, go for it. But I'm probably going to go there again. Now that I'm just talking myself through it. But my main line for Derek White is this under 5.5 assists, though, for the reasoning I just touched on. Next play, we're going to head over to Domantas Sabonis here. Over 16 rebounds and assists. So after the Zach LaVine trade last season, so we'll filter for games with Zach LaVine in. Sabonis went over this number in 19 out of 20, well, over his number in 19 out of 26 games, but he had 3 games where he ended up on 16 on the dot. So that's really 22 out of 26 games, almost an 80% win rate right there. This season, he's gone over this number in 4 to 5 games. And if I filter even further for just away games, he's gone over in every away game, averaging 19 per game. Looking at last season, he averaged 19.2 as well, going over or tying the number in 12 out of 14 games. Really good prop on Sabonis with the rebounds and assists. He plays point guard a lot of the time, even though he is a center. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He's a triple-double machine. So this rebounds and assist number just might be a little bit too low for what they are putting out there today. But my favorite parlay filler today isn't actually this rebounds and assist number. It's going to be his PRA. So let's head over to his PRA, and we'll filter it down to 24.5. Last season, he went over this number 60 out of 71 games. This season, all 5 games, obviously averaging 32.2 per game. But if we filter for just away games, 36 out of 37, averaging 39.9 PRA. Last 3 games, averaging 36 PRA, but going over every time. His minutes have been the same, 32 minutes all the way up to 37 minutes, around what you'd expect. Where last year he was getting, between 33 and 40. So I'm expecting somewhere between 35 and 37 minutes for him, but he should be able to go over this alternate line of 24.5. If you're new to my channel, what I mean by parlay fillers and alternate lines, it's these Green Goblin plays over on PrizePicks. So what I like to do is I like to take one of those plays and combine it with one of the straight bets, or if it's like a Taco Tuesday or a discounted line or like an automatic win, but you need a second player as a combination, I'll combine these parlay fillers with one of those plays because it's essentially an auto win. I win these around 90% of the time. It's actually been a little bit less for NBA to start the year. I think I'm down around like 80% to start the NBA season, but for NFL, I don't think I've lost one of these since like week 4. So I think it might just be a volume thing. But anyway, that's the way you should play these parlay fillers, the Green Goblin plays. I have 2 more plays for you guys. I got 1 more straight bet and 1 more parlay filler. So the straight bet I'll share first. It is Kawhi Leonard under 12 first half points. Be on the lookout on Underdog Fantasy on this one. So I talk about this all the time. The first half markets are my favorite market in the NBA. And the differences between the lines between PrizePicks and Underdog Fantasy do matter. So he's 12 on PrizePicks right now. I guarantee you when Underdog Fantasy releases this line later this afternoon around like 3 or 4 o'clock, it's probably going to be 12.5. So that's why it's important to have accounts with both of these apps or all these other sports books and stuff too, because you always want to take advantage of the best line that is out there. And if you don't have an account with Underdog Fantasy and you sign up using the link in the description below or by using code LayTheHouseRM, I'll actually throw in 3 months of my VIP for free with that. So if you just sign up using my code and deposit in Underdog Fantasy, send me a screenshot on either Discord or Twitter or just wherever you can find me. Send me a DM, and I will send you a link for 3 months free of my VIP, and that gets you my picks for free all the way through the NFL season and almost all the way through up until the NBA All-Star break. So definitely a ton of value in doing that if you aren't on Underdog Fantasy already. But the reasoning behind this under 12 first half points, I'm not in love with this play, but it did cash us the last couple of times, and it is something that I play a lot, and I did a lot last season. So he went under this number in 17 out of 23 home games last year. We'll actually show 12 and a half just as an example. So 12 and a half, 17 out of 23 home games, he went under this number. This season, he's actually gone over this number twice, and he went under once. But the one game here, I can't remember which one, but one of them he shot like 5 of 7 from the floor, which is just really good shooting for him, which is not typical. And the other game, he went like 5 for 13. I think there was this Phoenix game where they actually scored 72 points and just absolutely poured it on the Suns, which I don't expect that to happen against Miami, even though they are on the second leg of a back-to-back. But I'm going to go with the last year's trend on Kawhi Leonard going under this number in 74% of the time at the home games. And it was something that made us a lot of money last season, so why not just go back to it? I got one final play for you guys. It is another parlay filler, and it's Luka Doncic over 6.5 rebounds. I'll be quick on this one. Games without LeBron James, games with Austin Reeves. Last 2 seasons, averaging 10.8 rebounds per game, going over 9 out of 9 times, never going below 8, and we're getting 6.5 here. So this is the bonus, are my top 2 favorite parlay fillers. The Reeves one, probably the third favorite. And as for the straight bets, probably the Reeves is number 1, then Sabonis, then White, then Leonard to rank them. But that's gonna wrap things up today. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment on your favorite bets tonight as well. Join the free Discord. Like I said, link is in the description below. And best of luck on your bets tonight, everybody. Thank you for watching.